Hello, soul friends. This is Miriam, and welcome back to my channel. Today's pick a card reading is all about creeping on your crush. Let's find out how your crush feels about you. Remember, no matter your individual beliefs, tarot or oracle reading is your spirit guides coming forward to give you advice because they love you, or it is simply your subconscious mind helping you answer life's ponders. And no matter how you look at it, it's healthy and you're in the right place. So thank you for being here. We have piles 1, 2, 3, and 4. Each of these decks are tarot decks. That's pile 1. And I just threw some of my jewelry on there because I'm lazy, y'all. Very reflective. Oh, 3 is this ring. And number 4 is this other little... It flips. Okay. Okay, go ahead and pause if you need. And while you're pausing to see if you want to pause, I'm just going to show you which cards we're working with today. These are the tarot cards we'll be using. You probably have become quite familiar with these. This one's pile 3s. This is pile 4. There we go. This is pile 2. And then, of course, we will throw in some oracle cards for all of you. Today we'll be using this one. Okay. We will see you in your individual readings. Take care. Bye. Hello, pile 1. So if this is your pile that you picked, we're going to get into your reading on how your crush feels about you. All right. Let's get what we can get. Hello. Okay. Those did fall upside down, so we are going to take that. Well, I think that's good. Let's see what we can see. So we started off with the Empress upside down. Sorry. Then we also have the 3 of Wands also upside down. I think I understand, but we're going to wait for a second while I flip over these other guys. 8 of Wands. 3 of Pentacles. Oh, and one of the extra cards that comes with this deck. I leave them in because this almost gives me a 10 of Pentacles vibe, but like it's more like a, you know, like a more of a female representation of that card, okay? But I get very much the same vibe from it. It's just another piece of art from the artist that did that deck, but they put it in there, so I went ahead and I like to keep it so it doesn't have any numbers or words on it. Anyway, okay, so right off the bat, I'm seeing that the person you have a crush on, I am getting a female energy. And I am getting the vibe that some of you work with this person that you have a crush on, okay? Always keep in mind, too, with crushes, that I always leave this open to crushes that you may have absolutely no intention of, like, actually, like, making a move on this crush. It's just somebody that you're attracted to, and you want to know if they're attracted to you, too. I'm feeling that, too. So, if you're just curious, you know, That is okay. I'm seeing that for those of you that are picking up on that same like feminine energy, and it doesn't matter genders, feminine energy can be just, they're in tune with the divine feminine. It could be a female, etc. and so forth. But that being said, if I refer to your crush as she and you have a crush on a he, or they, whatever, just take it as it resonates. I try to be all inclusive, but it can start to get very confusing about which he, she, they I'm referring to. Because yeah, you know how that goes. Because I don't know what your names are. Okay, so let's go ahead and look here with the Empress and the Three of Wands in reverse. I feel like your crush may have felt like in love with somebody in their past, and they thought that that was like where their whole plans were headed. Okay, like that was going to be the person they stayed with forever, and something abruptly changed that for them. All right, and so they haven't given up on that idea of romance or starting a family, but they're mostly focusing on work right now, and that might be why you have a crush on somebody who is at work, because this person is not really in the market, or at least they don't think they are right now. Excuse me. I was taking a slurp of my coffee. Okay, that being said. What else? I'm trying to see if there's any other storyline to this besides what I just said. I don't believe so. This ring spins, by the way. Yes. That was the ring that was on top of this. The moons and stars. It's almost like they haven't given up on that idea of finding somebody that they love to the moon and back, or finding their moon and their stars person, right? Is kind of like the vibe I'm getting, but it's like, I'm not seeing that they're like, whatever happened with them in their past, it turned everything upside down. Like, I think they felt attractive and in love, and everything was turning up roses, and then everything got changed. And it happened so fast that they kind of had to reprioritize what is important to them and where they are in life. I see them throwing themselves into their work. Yes. So for those of you that are crushing on this person, I see that you work well together, even if you don't work at the same place. You have a good rapport with each other. You have a good relationship that's platonic at this stage. I think they're so topsy-turned about what happened to them before and just throwing themselves into their work. It's almost like when somebody loses everything and they join the army, or they join a monastery, because they're just I don't know why those are the two things that pop into my head when I want to run away from the world. I want to go work in a monastery somewhere. I don't know why that seems so comforting of an idea of just contemplating spiritual life for the rest of yours and not worrying about family or friends or anything that has to do with advancement in the world, right? Is the idea I get. They're looking at things and what's my big life purpose? So they're not actually thinking about romance right now. But I'm seeing that they envision it for later, that they envision the idea of growing old, and it's not just you old in your house. It's you and your house is full of family and extended family. This would be one of your children that are grown, and their children. And it's just this rich tapestry of life. They're living kind of in a more modest dwelling than the 10 of Pentacles would be. But their life looks very rich. I've got Christmas vibes of hanging around the fire and grandma telling stories and feeling all warm and snuggy in our beds while visions of sugar plums dance in our heads. Where did that come from? Well, that comes from Christmas time, doesn't it, children? Even though I'm not filming this at Christmas time, it's still kind of hot outside. It's getting cooler though. That's why I broke out my fall cards. Anyway, this is a timeless reading. I usually try to make all of them timeless. Okay. So that being said, I'm seeing that this person is not thinking about you in the crush sense, but that doesn't mean that they wouldn't be interested in you, pile ones. They just have not even thought about romance at all because of all this topsy-turvy business. But they want that down the road. And I think that intuitively they know that this is where they're supposed to end up. So possibly that could be you. But they haven't thought about you at all in that respect. They like you. They think you're an inspiring person. They respect you. Three of Pentacles is all about people doing like a project together. So if you don't work together, you might be involved in like charity. They are in a church, so that may be somebody that you share spiritual beliefs with, that you're kind of into the same spiritual stuff. It's so funny that it might just be because the cards often have church imagery in them. But when I was a kid, you wouldn't see church-going folk playing with tarot cards, right? And if you were alive in America in the 90s and the 80s, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's like I do picture some of you going to church sometimes. And I love that idea of like getting dressed up on Sunday and going to church. I just never could get it going for myself because of Sunday anxiety and how like you're starting the work week, which for me was like the school week for my entire life. I was either going to school or I was working at one. So Sunday nights were always rough as far as let's get everything going that we didn't do anything this weekend so that we can go and be on time for work. But now that I kind of work at home, maybe I would like to go to like some kind of little Sunday thing every week. I don't know why I'm thinking that. Maybe some of you are thinking that. Maybe some of you need to go and have a picnic before it gets cold. If you're watching this, it's right at the beginning of September where I am, and so it's not cold yet, but it's not hot anymore, like to the point where I want to die. And I just love that feeling. But I'm feeling that for some of you, that idea of maybe like a harvest. You know how like churches always had like little harvest festivals for the kids on Halloween instead of like going out trick-or-treating, right? That kind of stuff. Like I'm seeing like bobbing for apples, community orientation. I know that's kind of off the subject of crushes, but it's almost like I feel this, like maybe the reason why some of you are watching a thing about crushes is maybe just this time of year is just kind of romantic for you, of like cuddling up with somebody and you're both wearing sweaters. Gross. Anyway, I actually didn't feel gross about that at all. That felt snuggy, which is very gross. All right, let's look and see what... Is there anything else, Spirit, that I need to tell them about their crush before I get into the oracle cards? Okay, so we have... Yeah. I am you and you are me. When we come together, we are all we see. Yeah, I'm getting this like friendship vibe for you, my friends. Maybe some of you, your crush is like one of those like if you are if you're actually crushing on somebody more as like a friend. Have you guys ever done that? Like you have your little platonic crush of a person where you're like, man, I could see us snugging up in our sweaters on a leafy porch and talking about stuff and drinking coffee, or like, you know, somebody bringing you catnip that they grow in their garden for your kitty cat or something like that. It's so cute. I'm seeing friendship vibes for sure. So if this is like a platonic, I wish we were kind of besties vibe, that I'm feeling really nice, because that person is seeing, I'm seeing maybe there's even more than one of you. Maybe it's in the case of like, maybe it could go either way, friends or romantic, but you're up for either because you just really like this person. I don't know. Interesting energy. Like, I know that you watched this to do a crush thing, but I'm getting such funny energy from this, like friendship energy. It could just be that, you'll look back at this later and laugh that you had a crush on your friend, your platonic friend that you ended up just being really good friends with, and you kind of, maybe you never tell them, or maybe you laugh about it later, like, oh, when we first hung out, I totally had a crush. And then just realized we were really good friends. But I'm seeing like Indian summer. Do you guys know what Indian summer means? It's a term that they have out in the sticks where I live, where it's like when summer is longer and all the way up until, September or October, when you're getting closer to Halloween and November and frosty stuff, right? It's like the sun stays out a little bit longer, and you might like snag an extra camping trip or I'm like seeing roasting marshmallows in a fire. Maybe not even camping, maybe just like a little fire pit out in your backyard where you just like to sit and drink, adult beverages and hang out with your friends. Okay, is what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing that if this is a crush and this ends up going someplace romantic, that what's cool about it is that you have so much in common besides just attraction and romance. It's almost one of those things where you would almost not date because you're such good friends kind of energy. And I always tell people that, once again, we get mired down in that Hollywood idea of that romantic happy ending. I would challenge you. I would challenge you to watch a little movie called Tombstone and see what platonic bromance really looks like. And that bromance can exist with all the genders. Like I've had many a bromance with a straight, platonic dude friend where, we just had a good time, and like it never became romantic or anything weird like that. Or anything gross. It was just, you had fun watching movies, and there was no like pretenses. I'm seeing like a comfortability, I guess is what I'm rambling around to. I see that you're comfortable with this person. So even if it doesn't end up romantic, you'll still end up friends, because it's like, oh, I just got another storyline in there. For some of you might have been like looking at like a lady in your life, and you're like, brown chickie, row, row, when you first met her. And then like you realized over the course of getting to know each other that you're probably better off as just friends, but that you'll last longer that way, and that you actually respect each other. And it's not just tied up in like dirty, nasty, gross stuff. All right, I'm hearing that as well. Okay, let's see what else we've got. I apologize for how forthcoming I speak. My meditations are telling me to speak from my heart space, so guess what? Elderberries, how cute. Oh, I've got such grandma vibes. Grandma's kitchen. Did you guys have a grandma that had a cute little kitchen? She had those cute little, my grandma had those cute little 70s dishes that all the grandmas had. They had like the little blue or brown like flower patterns on them. Ours were blue. Elderberries, number 13. There it is. A knowing within bone. Allow it to guide you. Yeah. That like sage like wisdom of a grandmama. A grandmama. Why is that coming out that way? Do some of you say grandmama to your grannies? We were very strange when we were little. We always called, I remember doing this and feeling it was so sophisticated at the time, but we always called our grandmother's grandma last name. So if your grandma's last name was, even something long like Fitzgerald, we're Irish, you'd say Grandma Fitzgerald. Right? Might be because everybody and their dog was named Marie back then. I don't know why. Everybody in my family had a middle name, or I don't even know. Marie happened a lot. I can't believe I didn't end up with a Woo! What else we got? This is such a pretty card. Falling leaves, 14. Let go of the things that weigh heavily on you. You deserve to take up. Oh. Okay. I'm also feeling with this crush that some of you might feel like your person. This happens a lot with crushes, and it can happen with platonic ones or romantic ones, where like you feel like you can't compete in that person's coolness. Like they seem cooler than you or smarter than you. This card is saying to me like not to feel that way, because your person that you have a crush on, whether it's romantic or platonic, and whether this is going towards romance or friendship, I feel like it's a mix in this group. And I feel like you guys probably know who you are already, based on how this is resonating for you. But it's like, you have a reason to take up space. Like you have a spot in this little friend group or coven. You're just as important as anyone else. Some of you, I was getting that church vibe. Some of you might be doing more of a church of like pagan origin, where you like to go out in the woods. Remember we were talking about the fire, and maybe roast marshmallows, but also do some magic with your coven people. Also very cute. I love the fall vibes of just, yeah, I can smell it almost. It's so great. I love this. I don't even know. Can you feel that with me? I love feeling this. Okay, so I want to come hang out with you and your friends. It's kind of cool. I like that feeling. Like I get the feeling of like kids riding like Stranger Things, riding bikes in the dark to go like solve mysteries and supernatural wonders. Woo, it's magic-y. Okay, other things. So this, like whatever this is, like whether it's a romantic crush or a platonic crush, my pile ones, it's like magical. It's this special thing. That's what I want to say. It's special. Like, and like, don't worry about how you fit into it or if you fit into it, because it wouldn't be the same recipe without you. Does that make sense? Ooh, and I just got family vibes of like siblings, and sometimes siblings are like your dearest friends and you go on little adventures together if you're closer in age, or your cousins, or like people that, you know, you grew up with. It's like that family vibe of not just right now, like forever. So if this is somebody you just met, you have like a past life energy together, or you have some kind of like, maybe not past life, but shared past experiences, perhaps when you were a little kid and you were snugging under your blanket. I've got such snuggy vibe. I'm sorry I'm speaking this way, but here we go. It must be the message that we need to do. So bear with me. Like snugging down in your little backpack, like your little sleeping bag, and you're in a little tent or a camper, and it's spooky, but it's exciting all at the same time. Or like taking, you know, Indian summer, late summer, where it's all warm still, and your parents let you sleep outside, like on the sun porch, or they let you sleep on the trampoline. There's kids that always got to go sleep on sleeping bags on their trampolines, or in tents, or, you know, you got to build a fort in the living room or something like that. Ugh, it's so good. It's like this, like riding your bike and just that never-ending energy of running outside and playing with your friends. Maybe some of you get that fall spirit when you see your kids putting on their little like fall outfits that you bought them, right? And they're going off to school, and people do those cute little, we didn't do it when we were kids because I'm old. We didn't have those things, but we, you know, now I see the moms always do that cute little, you know, her first day back to school, and like they're all decked out in their cute little outfit, and like, you know, your crayons are all fresh, and all your supplies are new, your shoes are new, and everybody looks all pressed and clean. It's so cute. Like, I just love that back to school vibe is the feeling I've got. So it is a timeless reading, but you know, it's just that time of year while I'm filming this is what I'm feeling. So I feel like even if you watch this during another season, that it might bring that kid adventure vibe of like, you know, like the story It, you know, and the kids all bond with each other, you know, and make like the best friends that they'll have for their entire lives. And the good news about all that is that you usually don't have to go fight a clown in a sewer that turns into a big giant, like, you know, dumb looking spider. Yes. Okay. That all being said, yeah, I don't care which version you saw. The ending was, I'm gonna argue the ending was disappointing for me in all three versions. The book, the movies. Yeah, disappointed. Anyway, but the kid parts were amazing. Were like the part one of the book, you know, where the kids are just running around and getting bullied and going on little adventures, and clowns are eating people. And you don't know what the clown is yet. It hasn't turned into a dumb spider yet. Life hasn't disappointed you. Everything's going great. Enjoy this time. I love this. Tell me about your special person in the comments. Let me know topics you'd like to hear in the future. Also, if you'd like to book a private reading, there are ways to do so in the description box. You can also email me. Just ask me general questions whenever you want. If I see it, I answer. Yes. Okay. This is all I have for you today, my pile ones. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you in the next one. Go have some fun. Marshmallows. Bye-bye-bye. Hello, hello, pile two. So if you picked the angels, we'll call it the angel amulet. Nice. Does that sound magic-y? I'm going to put it on. I've been wearing this every day since I bought it, you know, for like $8 on Amazon. It was not that expensive. I'd love to tell you I got it in a magical little shop, and this little old crone sold it to me. You know, mysterious old crone that cackles even worse than I do. But that is not how it went down, y'all. Okay. Let me see what your crush is up to. This, by the way, is like my favorite smaller deck of cards that I own. A, because they're purple. Yeah, I'm a cliche, a pagan lady that likes purple. Go figure. That being said, ooh. Ooh, spicy. Okay. Okay. My little chickadees. Is there anything else we need? Oh my. Okay. My. That's a lot of cards, but that's okay because they're small. We can make it fit. I sneezed. Ooh, I almost sneezed. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe it's just a sign. It's allergy season. Actually, I'm going to take these down. We're going to take these ones down, pig. Yes. Okay. I just realized these cards do have, this would normally not be a deck that I take reversals for, because I can tell with the little misties, I've never noticed this before, that they're not uniform on both sides. Therefore, this would usually be a deck that I don't take reversals in. However, it's too late now, and I don't know which way is which. Looks like we've got a mix. So that's how we'll do. And then we'll get one of these. Alrighty, let's look at your crush. Oh my. I'm just going to flip them all over, and then we will get to them as we go. So you have Nine of Swords, Page of Swords, Ace of Wands, Seven of Cups in the reverse, Six of Pentacles, Five of Swords, Page of Cups, And the Judgment card. My. That's a lot of stuff that just came out on your person there. All right. The person you have a little crush on. Okay. Oof, that's some crazy energy in these cards. Give me 2 seconds. This is all very interesting. You have got a complicated critter in your crush zone, my friends. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out if this is all just one story or if it's like one in oh my word, okay. Okay, for some of you right off the bat, I'm going to throw this out there because it's very specific. A lot of times when I get 7 of Cups, I feel like an energy of addiction that most people don't usually get. It's not so, it doesn't always have to be addiction though. Like if you know a person who is an addict and I was doing a reading for you on that person, I might pull, even if they're not an addict, if they're using again. Does that make sense? Or if they're using at all. A lot of times I'll get 7 of Cups, and I'll get to that in just a second. Let me look at the rest of these real quick. Yeah, and the 5 of Swords. Like they're not usually the devil is one of the ones people pull out for addiction. Temperance can be sometimes one about giving up an addiction or finding balance. Okay. But in this particular instance, I feel that some of you, your crush, isn't using right now, but they have in the past. Okay. So if that's a deal breaker for you, be aware that you might want to look into their background a little bit. Okay. And I'm not judging y'all. I used to be a little fish back in my day, and I drank a lot. So, no judgments on anybody that you like that used to use. I'm just throwing that out there. It could also just be confirmation that you already knew that about them, and now you know we're talking about the right person, right? I'm also seeing like a complicated critter in your crush zone in the sense that possibly they partied back in the day or made some poor choices, okay? If they didn't use and you're like, they're as clean as a whistle. Past, present, and future. I'd be like, okay, I believe you. Possibly they've made questionable choices in their past, okay? They also might struggle when making choices, even in their present. Okay, so if that sounds like your person, then take that as a sign. I'm also seeing that this person suffers from anxiety, and I'm not making a diagnosis. I just mean that they often wake up and I can relate to this person, of any time. It's so friggin' funny, but like I do this even to this day and I'm old. You know, when you're like a little kid and you have to go back to school, and some of you might have been really excited, but you also might have gotten like the butterflies in your tummy feeling. I get that little scared kid feeling, and it's more on the scared side than it is on the, yay, a new adventure in life. I'm more like, oh, can I stay in bed? I've got the anxieties. Okay. I suffer from anxiety. But what I'm saying is that I feel like your person might wake up. They might have a stressful job or be going through a stressful time. But I feel just like in general, they might be one of those people that, you know, you ask if they're nervous about something big that's coming up. And they're like, yeah, I'm nervous for that. I get nervous for lunch. I heard a kid say that once, and I related to that so hard because I get nervous going outside and checking the mail. And you're like, why? Do you live in a rough area? No, I don't. Well, I mean, it depends on what's out there. You know, if you go out there and there's like what I call a local rat, which is basically a big giant deer. Those are the kind of rodents we get around here. Just kidding. Deer are cute, right? But we get like zombie deer. They look kind of nappy and they hang out around the house, and you know, they might have fawns, and fawns are little baby deer, and the mom will kill you. Just so you know. If you're like, what? I live around deer and they've never tried to kill me yet, my friend. You mark my words. If you've got deer around and you're like, they're so tame, I can trust them. don't. I'm just speaking from experience. They're really cute until they charge you because you got close to a fawn you didn't know was like chilling in your flower bed or whatever. Not that I have one of those because I don't garden, but anywho, I have areas that could be flower beds. They probably were at one time. Now I call them my weed pits. And if anything grows there, it earned its right because I don't water or do anything out there. And every so often, that weird dude John that lives in my basement will go out there and just hack them to bits with this thing called a weed whacker. But anyway, I digress. Don't be walking up on deer, my friends. Okay? It's just from me to you, don't do it. Okay, I've gone on long enough about that. But your person could wake up with that anxious feeling. If you wake up with an anxious feeling, it could be your guides telling you that that person and you have that in common, or that for some of you, I feel like this person causes you anxiety already. You might worry about every conversation you've had. You know how crushes go. You like overanalyze all your, like, I carried the watermelon. What movie is that from? I know, I've only seen it once, but it's a famous-y one. Okay, put it in the comments if you know what movies I'm quoting. And you're old like me. I know you gotta age drop yourself. Or just deal with the fact that you watch retro movies, my friends. Anyway, anxiety is definitely something that happens. You might be anxious over what you say to them, how you communicate with them. You might feel like a blundering novice because the pages are new at what they do, okay? But I'm also seeing, as there's so many different energies here. Okay, let me take this one at a time, and I'm so sorry. There's so many energies in this pile. Okay, for some, if you're the person that wakes up anxious every day, it could be confirmation that your person feels the same way. This also could be a little hint that you get nervous around them, and ew, gross, they get nervous around you because they like you too. Gross. Anyway, if that's the case, congratulations. You have things in common with this person, those people that I'm talking to, okay? I'm also getting that those of you that do feel anxious around your person because you're that crushy on them. I'm going to address you first because you're the grossest one in the bunch. I'm so sorry, but it's true. So, you get anxious around them, the whole, like, remember when you're in 7th grade and you get like sweaty palms and then they want to hold your hand and you're like, oh my God, my hands are so sweaty. I'm going to give you such a hard time, the people in this group. The other ones you might want to skip forward. This is going to hurt. No, I'm just kidding. It's good stuff. If it's gross, you know it's good news. It means that they like you too, kind of deal. They also feel like they don't know what to do. So like if you felt like maybe you said something and they kind of derped out of there and then you derped out of there too. And even though this is a this is a, you know, not an 18 plus reading, but it's a grown up kind of situation, is what I'm feeling. I'm still seeing like little dorky, like 7th graders, like ducking away from each other and your little backpacks are on. And you like run away. It's so cute. So anywho, and gross. It's like you both don't know, like you're trying to be like savvy with your words and be savvy with your romantic abilities, okay, with like that page energy, but you also get that nervous energy of like a novice or like, you know, I feel like a schoolgirl again or a schoolboy or a school person, okay? It's like this new, you know, butterflies in your tummy kind of energy. It's so gross, you guys. Yes, I'm laughing at you. Tee-hee-hee. Oh my word, you romantics. I'm just kidding. I tease you because I get Twitter pated as well, as they say in certain film. And so I also say I'm a gross dork myself when I when I get like this. So you're not escaping my wrath, my friends. It's not because I don't relate. It's because maybe I relate too much. It's so funny. Okay. I also see with like the 7 of Cups in this particular pile that like not so much this person feels like, or like I feel like this person's using or anything like that. it's more like just that still like not knowing what to say, when to say it, and you always feel like you can't get you can't get your ish right around them. It's like every time you're around them, you try to say something smooth, but you end up saying something like, I carried the watermelon. And then you're like, oh God, why did I say that? And you just want to run away. It's that kind of energy, but it's sweet. Like, it's gross, but it's sweet. Like, I'm actually gonna, it's endearing. I feel like they also find it endearing, and they also find it relatable that they kind of have caught on that you're also, it takes the pressure off of them to say or do the right thing, because you also kind of say and do, like, they think it's kind of cute. Does that make sense? And you think it's cute when they do it, unless you overthink it of they derp out and run away because they embarrass themselves, and you are thinking they're running away because you are ugly or something. It's so like, it's like that cute, like, awkward kids at a dance, like scared to ask each other to dance, and then like, scared if you didn't wear enough deodorant. Like, it's so like new and fresh. Gross. Okay. And it does feel, I'm gonna go ahead and go off of you guys' feelings and say that it's a balanced material. Why was I going to say material? It's a balanced material between you. It's balanced between you. Like, they also, like, if this is a big crush and you feel derpy around them and just like that awkward, you don't want to look like a nerd, I'm like coming up with all this 80s slang. Like, I'm picturing kids in like lockers and stuff like that. It's like, they like you and you like them. It's very balanced. Does that make sense? With the Five of Swords, I'm also seeing like that stuck communication in that particular respect of hearing rumors, and like this also goes towards that same high schoolish atmosphere. Like, man, if you don't if you're not if you're not around lockers for real, you're around a lot of people who act like they are. There might be like, maybe you're in a workplace where it's very high schoolish. Like, you guys might even say like this place is like high school. Maybe it's like working at a hospital. Yes, I give a hard time to hospital life because a lot of times it reminds me of high schools. The way that y'all wearing scrubs get into drama with one another. Maybe I'm not calling you out specifically. Maybe. But if the scrubs fit. Somebody's like, I work in healthcare, and not only did I find that this resonated, I did not appreciate what you had to say, Miriam. Hey, I'm not saying you're like that. I'm just saying you probably work with a lot of people who are, and you know who I'm talking about. You know who you are. And it might not be a high school. It might not be a hospital. But yeah, I've got that, like, that fall back to school. Everybody's got their cute little skirts on. Everybody got their cute little outfit on. Now we're all going to go in and compare one another to each other. Like, I feel like some of you, this crush that you have is something that you worry about other people noticing, almost like you would if you were in high school. Like, that idea of like, or a hospital, of, you don't want, I'm just kidding, any of those little like tight knit areas where everybody's kind of around each other in the same space. Like, it could be not a hospital, but one of those cubicle kind of places where you don't really have your own little station. You do, but it's all open, and so everybody can see what everybody's up to, right? People can tell when you're off. People can tell if maybe you like somebody. They might be able to make that assumption before you've even made it yourself, my friends, is what I'm picturing. What I love about it is that it's so routine. I like that feeling about it. Like, I see you just kind of bustling around your everyday life and then bumping into that person that you like. Some of you I'm seeing like, not like a mall, but maybe a mall. Possibly maybe a strip mall of some kind where it's kind of in a little parking lot area where everybody goes to these different little places to like get their lunch or their coffee. and then you all kind of work in that little same area, and that's why you go there for your coffee, because it's quick and you can get there on your break. Maybe some of you have a crush on the coffee person. Maybe you're embarrassed because you spilled coffee in front of them. That was very specific. Like, don't call me out like that, Miriam. Hey, it's okay. I do silly stuff all the time. It's embarrassing, and I'm blonde, and I'm not saying that the stereotypes about blondes are true at all. I'm just saying that when I do the things I do, I wished I wasn't so not brunette when I do the things I do in front of people. Like, I'm one of those people that'll walk into a screen door. I really am. And it's not because I'm ditzy. It's because I'm thinking about 2 billion things all at once and usually feeling anxiety, and then I make these silly mistakes. So, that empathy part of me is like picking up on that, like that socially awkward, like school thing where you wore your cute little dress, but then you carried your backpack, and your backpack hiked your cute little dress up to like your waist in the back, and you had no idea. And then by the end of the parking lot walk, or to the bus, everybody was laughing and knew. And if you're a kid, a person even that's not even a kid anymore, that's just younger than me because I'm so old, you might have had people film something like that. I'm feeling that same, like, yeah, kind of like energy from you guys. Okay, I've got to move on though. All right, so because this is just one person, I've got other people to go to. I'm so sorry. I should start doing timestamps for these long ones, but I'm too scattered, you guys. You just got to hang in there with me, or don't. It's fine. You're free. Run free. You owe me nothing. As far as Five of Swords goes, yeah, that breakdown in communication of also like witnesses is what I'm getting to with that. My gosh, I went on a derpland thing myself there. Yeah, and then once again, feeling like a novice, feeling like you've been on dates, right? Some of you may have even been married before, right? But you're like, some of you might even be married now. I don't know. I don't know what you're into. But that being said, some people have open things. It's fine. I ain't judging you. I'm just teasing people, though. I just keep talking to you like you're high school kids, and like you could be in very grown-up situations, but you feel like you're, like a schoolgirl or a schoolboy again. Like you just don't know if you're going to be as smooth as you want to be. What I'm seeing with this card here at the very end, and this one as well, is that this is kind of like, it could be like a big thing. I'm not sure with crushes, you never know. But I feel like when you get a crush in the first place, it's because that person is special to you in some way. And it might not turn out to be like the love of your life, right? And you might not even end up romantically involved with them. But it's like they're special. They're there to teach you something. That's what I love about crushes. That's why I feel like even if you are, a monogamous person and you've been married forever, and you would never cheat or anything like that, you still have people catch your attention. I still encourage people to pay attention to that. Don't pay too much attention to them and get yourselves in trouble, depending on what your agreements are in your marriages, my friends, and your relationships. But I encourage people to take note of someone that does catch your eye. Don't take so much note that you're hiding in their bushes, filming them unbeknownst to them, stalkers. Don't do that. But what I'm also saying is that they caught your eye for a reason. And it could just be a spiritual thing or a scientific thing. They caught your eye for a reason because you have something to learn from them. You have something to learn about yourself. You might just have like a really good friend to make, or a romantic connection to have, new passion. Okay, so that's what I've got for those guys. Now let's talk about the people that popped up real quick. Some of you have a crush on somebody who causes you anxiety in a different kind of way. It's like already kind of dramatic. And like you could be like in a friend zone situation with this person. Possibly you dated before, but you just always have still had feelings and maybe wonder if they have the same feelings for you. I see that as well. Okay. So for those people, I'm gosh, I might have to timestamp this. If I ever do it, it's going to be the first one, but don't quote me on that. I'm pretty lazy. It's almost like your guides are telling you, if that's the case, if this is like an on again, off again crush, maybe you've been together, maybe you haven't, but you like know how each other feels about each other. One of those like tension relationships, but you like never went all the way because into romance because you know that they've got this issue, okay, that they're not quite ready, that they're not quite honest with you or themselves, and that things in this particular case for those people feel out of balance. Your guides are telling you that your judgment is right on. They might not be using or doing anything bad right now, but like if this is an on again, off again thing, or a friend zoned thing that you kind of turn towards the idea of romance and then turn back and then turn towards, okay, that idea, whether you've actually kissed or not, whether you've actually been boyfriend, girlfriends, or whatever combo you want there, boyfriend, girlfriend, girlfriends, they friends, you know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm seeing that you need to let them go ahead and do their thing. Does that make sense? And I think deep down inside in your judgment, you know that, okay? I'm not going to split hairs with you as much, A, because I'm not going to make fun of somebody that's in a situation like that because it's painful. And B, I feel that your person is also in pain off and on quite a bit throughout their life. A, because of choices they've made. B, because of choices they haven't acted on that they wish they had. Stuff like that. And that fear and hurt and betrayal and, feeling left out or feeling unbalanced. You know what I mean? Topsy-turvy. Okay. So your guides are saying that your judgment is sound if you're wondering about getting that out of the way, of like letting go of that, especially the idea of a romantic connection with this crush right now. How do they feel about you? I think they turn towards you and that they definitely feel that you're special, okay? But they're willing to take things from you, and they kind of know deep down inside that they're not actually going to like ever give you what you need from them. So I'm getting a couple of different scenarios. I'm getting like a scenario of somebody that kind of like calls you when they've made bad choices, right? And you're kind of their fallback person because you always like accept them no matter what because you're a good person. But they kind of can take advantage of that. And even if they aren't trying to take advantage of that and you're like, they're not taking advantage though, I offer, it doesn't help you because it's not bringing anything in for you except for you ending up feeling like this. Okay. And like deep down inside, you know that, right? The other one I'm getting is way more sinister in the sense that like the person that you have a crush on knows that you like them that much, and they kind of come back to you when their better options have fallen through. And I know that's really tough to hear. It's really specific. If that's not what you're resonating with, don't take it, but that needed to be said for some. Okay. It's like they'll happily take everything you have and like almost seem like they're going to give you something in return. But in the end, they end up with more than what you had, or they end up giving it to somebody else. Okay. So that's the darker side of this little pile. Let me look and see. There was something else. Oh, if your person's anxious. And this is not you feel derpy around each other because you both have a crush. For some of you, the person that you have a crush on is anxious in general. And that makes it harder for them to communicate with others. But they're actually deep, like if you were watching them from afar and you're like, are they honest, or are they standoffish from people because they don't like people, or are they standoffish from me because they don't like me? Are they a player? Are they honest? Are they socially awkward? Are they a weirdo? That particular case, your guides are saying that if this is somebody you don't know that well, like at the workplace is what I'm picking up on, that they're just quiet because they kind of have like social anxiety, but that they're actually very passionate, truthful, romantic, respectful, and like good human being. They just are kind of like a shy person. Whew. Anything else before I hit up on these oracle cards? Okie dokie. Here we go, y'all. These are for all of you. I'm not going to get too crazy like we just did. Autumn, look at this. Oh, yeah, there's definitely for all of you across the board. Like I was saying, crushes always mean something. Even if it doesn't mean they're going to be the love of your life or that they're going to like be all in love with you or whatever. It's some kind of a thing that they're catching your eye for a reason. Autumn equinox number 3, nothing is whole without the acceptance and acknowledgement of all. Yeah, accept them for what they are to you, okay? And not what you're hoping they might be. Does that make sense? And I mean that if they're a good thing, and I mean that if they're not a good thing, okay? Because we got a huge mix in this pile. I feel this one. Ooh, the owl. Yeah, wisdom, the moon idea here. We have the wise, oldish crone lady out doing her roots. Okay. Root vegetables, ba-bam, 33. And then this was number 3 over here. In those hidden places where most fear to go is where the most nourishment is waiting for you to behold. Okay, yeah, it's almost like even if this is a darker person, darker connection, there is something to be learned from it. Okay, I'm not saying put yourself in danger, but it's like that idea of sometimes the unconventional, there's something to be learned there, even if it's something you shouldn't play with. Does that make sense? And so as long as you do things with a grounded perspective and you look with a steady eye without fear, unflinching, take the honesty for what you know to be true, right? Not just what you're being told, but what you see and feel to be true, okay? You listen to it, you trust it, and then there's less to fear about the unknown. You'll see more, you'll be more balanced, okay? And I see you having, yeah, like a learning experience going from, even if it's like a whirlwind romance that doesn't end in you being married together, but you still have a romantic thing. You aren't going to look back on this with regret, okay? As long as you use that judgment and take the advice that your guides are giving you, my friends. Does that make sense? I hope so, because woof. You know, when like things like swirl around and it's like it gets mixed together, it's like all the ink from you guys' energy is starting to whirl around to the point where I can't keep it straight anymore. So with that, I'm going to leave you, my friends. Thank you for hanging out for this entire thing. I know there was like 5 different people groups to get through. Woof. Yeah, I feel like I need to take a nap. But thank you. I appreciate y'all. Give me comments about how this resonated for you. Also, give me topic ideas. Also, you may book a private reading. There are ways to do so in the description box. Thank you so much, my friends. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye-bye-bye. Hello, pile 3. So if you picked the little ring, this is going to be your reading on your crush. If you felt drawn to pile 2, man, go for it. Because we had like 18,000 people in there. No, but we had like 4 or 5 different scenarios. So if you felt drawn to that one, you don't have to feel like you need to ignore that. Okay. Ooh. Felt something in there. What's happening? Okay. No. There we go. And yes, incredible. Link. Let's go with these ones and these ones. Okay. That should give us enough room to see them all. Maybe. There we go. All right, we'll just turn them over first. We have the Queen of Wands. The Ace of Swords. I love these cards. Let's see, the Six of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles. Five of Cups. Four of Swords. Atlanta does not want to focus on these for some reason today. Four of Swords. Take my word for it. That's what it says. Ooh, and Ten of Pentacles. What a beautiful card. Okay. Ten of Pentacles is like in my life right now. I've been getting that card for other people, myself, and just, it's just, you know, it's a positive thing usually. Okay, so let's talk about your crush. Let me make sure I've got everybody that's being represented here. All right. Sorry, I had to pause it and make sure. With pile 2, we had like 4 different scenarios all in one reading. It took me like 30 minutes to get through it. And I'm sure 20 minutes of that was me rambling like an idiot whilst I tried to explain to them what was going on with their crush. So many of them were probably like, I don't even like them anymore. I'm out of here. Just forget it. All right. So what I'm seeing right off the bat is that one of these represents you and one of these represents your person. I don't care which one because the message is going to be the same regardless. But I'll just explain to you what each one of them means so that you can take it as confirmation that that's you or your person. If you both exhibit both traits from both cards, then it's just you mirroring each other, okay? Right off the bat, you and your person you're crushing on, whether they have a crush on you or not, is not entirely clear to me, but it looks like there is potential, okay? I just can't get a sense of how they actually feel because the energy between you is so mixed, okay? So I'm thinking it's mutual, right? But, you know, don't go out and buy a diamond ring just yet. Actually, don't do that for any of you. It's a crush. Good grief. Watch and wait is what I'm hearing. But I'm seeing that for some of you, you're rocking that Queen of Wands energy, which is very passionate, outgoing, commanding, fiery, has big things to say, but is warm and inspiring in the way she says it, okay? Truthful people I'm getting with both of you. So if this doesn't end up being a romantic connection in the long run, I'm seeing that y'all are very well matched if you decided to go forward with that, if you both feel the same way, because this energy right here is very fiery, passionate, but it's mature energy. And so is the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is more reserved and more calculating, but both are not afraid to enjoy life, all right? One of the things about King of Pentacles is this is a person that would be very smart with money. I am picturing that you're both successful. So if this is somebody you work with, you probably started off admiring them before you started crushing on them, okay? And vice versa. It's a mutual respect. I'm seeing that you both recognize honesty in each other and fairness in each other, and that there's a good balance between the two of you. If you do work together, if you don't work together and you're just hanging out, you're well matched in the getting along department, regardless of where this goes. So I can see why you would get a crush on them. I could see why they would get a crush on you, or that you would get a crush on each other, because you're both very well matched in your energy, and you're both at that stage in your life, whatever stage that might be, where you're actually looking for something real, okay? The cards on the bottom is what I'm seeing is this could be a lasting and wonderful connection, okay? That could end in marriage for some of you, all right? It has that potential, right? But you need to make sure that one or both of you give it a rest. The swords, Four of Swords is always about resting, okay? Give it a rest on worrying about what could go wrong, okay? And that weariness that you hear in my voice is because so many people, and I'm going to lecture you guys about this time and time again, because this is just, you know, on my channel, I can lecture as much as I want. Whereas in my private practice, I'm much more, you know, I'm going to be more delicate, obviously, with a client that I'm doing a specific reading for, because it's more delicate because you're talking about very personal things, right? But when I'm talking to a big group, I start treating you like you're a classroom full of like college kids, you know, you're old enough to understand some tough talk. Okay. So it's like, I'm seeing this idea of, for one or both of you, so if this doesn't resonate for you, don't worry about it. It might be something to think about with your person. This might be a chink in their armor, is this tendency to think about what could go wrong as opposed to thinking about what could go right. This is about as right as things could go in a relationship down the road, okay? This is not. This is like totally like looking at the cup that's broken and not paying attention to what you have left, okay? And I mean, this cup isn't even ruined. It's just got a little chip in it, right? So, that all being said, that's the cautionary kind of tale, is that you need to not worry about what's coming down the road, because we can't see what's coming down the road anyway. We can only use the information we have to help us make the decisions to move forward. And right now, moving forward with your person in the sense of, you know, you're crushing on them for a reason. Maybe get to know them a little bit better, or at least enjoy your time with them, even if it doesn't go anywhere. Some of you might be worried about like, well, what if they don't like me that way? Well, then let it go and just be friends. It doesn't have to, you know, you don't have to own them. No, I'm just kidding. But you see what I'm saying? You don't have to hang on so tightly is what I mean, okay? In a more tactful way of saying that. You don't have to like hang on so tightly to the idea of where is this going. Enjoy the mystery of life, in that we meet people for different reasons at different times. It might not mean that you're going to get married, and it might mean that some of you do, because we do have 10 of Pentacles. I'm just dealing with lots of different energy today. So I want to make sure that you don't worry about where it's headed. You give that part a rest. Enjoy it for the now, because right now it's truthful, it's balanced, it's nice, okay? And you get along well with this person, so just enjoy yourselves is what I'm seeing with that, okay? Let's get some... Man, I feel like I snapped that up right in the middle pretty well. And then like the comments are like, I feel like you didn't answer anything. That was not a very long reading. Well, trust me, you don't want me to go on and on like I did with poor pile 2. My God. Okay. We have the Toad card, number 39. Oh, see, observe. For those who watch, see all. Yeah, don't label anything yet. Don't label it as like, oh, she didn't say we were getting married for sure, so that must mean we don't have a chance of having this kind of bliss. Okay, this is not true in some cases. What I'm saying is you don't get to know all the time. Like, great, Miriam, what are we watching you for? Well, you're watching me because these cards are pretty to look at. You know? And you're trying to figure out if this stuff is, you know, something that'll help you. Maybe, you know, we learn every day in different ways. But my point is this. You're not going to get to see everything right away in your life. And it doesn't mean that it's not going to be good. Part of life is the unknown parts. Okay. Your guides are like, throwing at you pretty hard. And this is like all the people that could be watching this, that you need to enjoy the journey there more. And I am not lecturing y'all, because I feel like your guides are kind of talking to me in this pile, as far as like, I always worry about where things are going, what's going to happen down the road. Am I going to regret anything? And like I said, you just don't get to know. Number 16, firesider. Dwell in the medicine that exists to protect the spirit. Ooh. So some of you might be taking this, if you're watching this in the fall, okay, or late summer, early fall, take this as like a sign that your guides are saying that you can go ahead forward without fear, okay? Because everything right now is looking great. Just because we can't see exactly what's going to happen down the road, it doesn't mean that things are going to be bad. You need to focus and imagine things going well, okay? Does that make sense to y'all? I hope that makes sense. Because I'm feeling this idea of like, you know, if you're not into making spell jars, you're like, what's that? Well, then don't worry about it. Make a vision board of something that you want. You know, if like you have a crush, like I always say, don't focus on that person and make a vision board about how you want that person, because then your vision board starts looking like you were a stalker, because it's like all this one. But the characteristics that you want in a person, if you're crushing on somebody, it's because they have something that you think you want in your ideal relationship, okay? So make a vision board of what you really want. If that is your person, just enjoy being around them, and they will be drawn towards you faster with the power of that vision board or your little spell jar or whatever. It's not like you're putting a spell on that person to make them like you, right? Or praying to God to make them like you. It's like praying to God or making a vision board or meditating that the universe will bring you the ideal person for you. And that way, if it's this person, they will get to you faster. If it's not this person, you'll figure that out faster. Does that make sense? I hope so. All right, that's what I have for you, my pile threes. That was way faster than pile two. You guys will like see that on the timestamps and be like, good Lord. There's just a lot of people in that pile that were in different situations, I guess. Anyway, or maybe they had crushes on more than one person. I didn't even think about that. Thank you for being here, pile threes. If this was helpful, give me comments on how it was helpful, and then give me comments on topics you'd like to see in the future. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Something along those lines. I always screw that up. You probably laugh every time, some of you. If you've watched a few of these by now, you're like, oh, Miriam. If you would like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. You can also email me and ask me just general questions about life. I'm always around. So we will see you in the next one, my friends. Take care. Bye-bye-bye. Hello, pile four. So if you picked this little double-sided necklace, yeah, then we're gonna get into what, whoa. This thing is swinging around like crazy. You may have noticed that it was a little bit of a clock look to it, right? Yeah. That could mean that you are racing against time. I don't know. On your person there, on your crush. Let's find out about your crush, my friends. Pile four's crush. What are they up to? What are they doing? I feel something. Ooh, Nelly. This might be all we need. Let's see, though. That was my tummy. I have a rumbly tumbly for some reason. Yep, I think that's it. That's all you need. Okay, let's find out what we've got here. We've got strength. In the reverse, we have 7 of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Pentacles. The 2 of Cups. What is that? Oh, 9 of Cups. I'm so stupid. I couldn't figure it out. Okay, now I'm envy. It's so funny. I was like, what card is this? What is happening? I haven't used this deck in a while, but I like it. All right. Let's talk about this, pile fours. So what I see here right off the bat is I see the Strength card in reverse. I feel like in this particular instance, your crush is not quite, it's not coming along as quickly as you would like it to. It's like, I feel like some of you may, this is like a connection that you've had for a very long time, and it's just not happening as like either the connection isn't strong enough. I think in some cases that makes you feel inadequate, okay? That the relationship isn't growing to where you would like it to be, which is this Ace of Pentacles, which is like the gate to a brand new world of riches. Two of Cups, which is all about partnerships. And then the Nine of Cups, which is all about wishes coming true. It's like you haven't quite gotten there yet, and you feel like you've been waiting for a very long time, okay? What I'm seeing with the cards themselves, oh my goodness, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my gosh. With this card being at the end, and I feel like it's gonna happen. Okay, so if this particular person that you're crushing on right now doesn't end up being the one for you, I'm seeing that it's within your power to manifest like your soulmate, okay? Because some of you, I feel like, have been waiting your whole lives for this, like, not a perfect person, but a person that's perfect for you. Gross. But like, yeah, twin flame energy, soulmate energy. I get it. Yeah, I totally get it. I wouldn't settle for anything less than that myself. So I'm just teasing you. If I say gross a bunch, it's just because I'm making fun in a fun way. Okay. Anything else I need to think about with this? Is there another situation? Okay, I am hearing like that if this particular crush that you have is going towards this, you need to not worry about not being strong enough or having to wait too long. Things are happening in due course, okay? And there's no need to rush. Everything's happening the way it needs to happen. I'm also hearing that, okay? So, yeah. So unless that person's like, stay away from me, I'm getting a restraining order. If that's the case, you're in the wrong pile. No, I'm just teasing you. But no, seriously, don't do that. If somebody gets a restraining order, stay away from them. That's definitely a sign. No, but I'm just teasing you. I'm seeing good things, like good partnership. Two of Cups is always about partnership. Ace of Pentacles is about like, you know, abundance and a new fresh start. Beautiful potential, okay? So things are coming along. It just feels like you don't feel like you're strong enough to wait, or that you've been waiting too long, okay? And like they're saying don't rush it with this card in particular, because see how the more they keep prodding the tree, it could actually like damage things. So let it happen in due course. Let's get you some oracle cards. Oh, hello. All right. Yeah, I see this like taking a nice little rest. Number 44, wool. You are woven with an embrace, protected, loved, and the familiarity of finally being home. Nice. Yeah, I see that. I'm going to put this over here. Oh, I'm going to put it over here where you can't see it. I like that energy because it's this idea of like coming home to the like your person, right? Things are happening in due course, and there's nothing that you have to do except for to be your fabulous self. And notice how number 44 is also there. That gives me that Four of Wands energy of being balanced, okay? And so that's all boding well for you as well with your crush. We also have molasses, number 26. To move forward, you must know where you are headed. Okay. Excellent. So yeah, before you move forward with this person or with this energy, just make sure that that's what you want. Okay, that's a specific message for some of you. The other thing I want to say is how your person feels about you, because that is where I'm getting different kind of energies coming in. For some of you, you're wanting it to go here, but that's not the person that you're supposed to go with. Does that make sense? That's for some of you. Okay, so after I tell you this message, you can bounce, because I'll just tell everybody what theirs is, in regards to all of these cards. Okay, so it's not the person for you right now, and it's not because you aren't ready and that you haven't done all the work and that you aren't like strong enough. It's because they aren't themselves ready to enter into that kind of a relationship with you for whatever reasons. Those reasons are their own, and it could be many. They might not feel that attraction to you. Okay, they might want to just be friends. They might want to not mess things up because you work together. They might not feel ready in the sense that they're not ready for any kind of commitment, and they can tell that you kind of are. Those types of things. If that's the case, and you've actually, in those particular, to check to see if you're in that category of people, I'm going to say that either it's people that have already made a move and they were turned down, but the person wasn't like, stay away from me, stalker, I never want to see you again. They were like, let's be friends, or let's see where it's going. I'm not sure. I'm not ready to be in a relationship, that kind of stuff. Excuse me for blowing my nose on camera. If you have already talked to that person and they turned you down, go ahead and take their word for it that they're not ready to be in that sort of relationship with you. If they just want to be friends, go ahead and see where that goes, but like, don't expect anything from them. Okay, because that's going to mess up your own energy if you're in the category of people where this isn't going somewhere. Okay, because we do have a mix here. And for those of you that it is going somewhere, let it go in due course. Like, make sure that that's what you want, though. There's also the cautionary thing there of you might want them, they might seem like they want you, or even told you they do in some cases, but you need to make sure that that's what you want as well, some of you. Because in some cases, this particular card doesn't just mean take it slow. It means actually, like, before you talk this person into being with you, decide if that's what you actually want. Okay. What else? For some of you, those scissors are calling out to me. The scissors and the tea are calling out to me for some of you. Also notice the teapot. And then we also have the little genie lamp, right? Those always look similar to me. That being said, just keep that in mind as it resonates. Other things. For those of you that this is headed to a romantic connection, again, just make sure that you're taking it slow and that it's something that you want before moving forward, and then just let it go on its own time. Enjoy romance. Think about the stuff that could be, and think about it turning out well. That's always a good way to look at things. I like the little fox in this. It's just chilling, taking a little nap. Make sure to rest. Not everything has to happen all at once. That's one of the main things I'm hearing here. Okay. Take some time for yourself. It's interesting that these are both happening with like similar little window scenarios, like almost on opposite ends of the house. If you're in opposite places, make sure that you're just okay with who each other are. Yeah. What else? Other things. I think that's it. Anything else? Yeah. No matter what, if it ends up this is the connection for you or it is not, like if that person said no to you, take them for their word and then set your wishes on somebody who is, if you have not met them yet, right? That somebody out there is there for you. You can always manifest your desires, my pile fours, is what I'm hearing. I want to make sure you hear that. I'm also seeing like abundance for all of you. If like this isn't your person, you're supposed to be freeing yourself up for whoever that person might be. And I'm also getting like opposite ends of the earth kind of vibes, like you're both under the same moon, but you haven't met each other yet. I'm seeing that most definitely. If this was a crush that you had with somebody specific, but I'm telling you, and based on the fact that they told you, that you need to be looking for somebody else. For those of you who are crushing and they like you back, you'll know for sure if you make a move if they like you back, okay? If they don't like you back in that romantic way, they're not going to reject you entirely. They're still going to want to be friends in some sort of capacity. And so keep that in mind as well. Is that something that you would want? Okay. So a lot of you need to wait and watch, okay, and be content with just kind of seeing where things go. I'm getting this across the board for all of you. Do not rush into anything on this one. This one needs to be something that needs to take a little bit of time, whether it's, reciprocal or not. Does that make sense? Yes, Miriam. Okay, great. If this was helpful. Oh, hang on. I've got a client. Anyway, give me comments on how this was helpful in the comments section. You can also give me topic ideas there as well. You can book a private reading in the description box. There are ways to show you how to do so. All right. Thank you for being here. We will see you next time. Bye.